The Democrats' vice presidential pick, Mr. Tim Walz, has been seen recently in some pictures wearing a hat he shouldn't be wearing. Now, Timmy, what is that on your hat? Is that a Special Forces emblem? Yes, it is. Were you Special Forces, Tim? No, you weren't, you naughty little boy. Hello to all you nearly 14,000 subscribers out there and the 79% of you who are not yet subscribed. Please do click on that subscribe button down there. It'd be greatly appreciated and help out this channel a lot. Yeah, today we're going to be talking about Tim Walz, a man who spent 24 years in the United States Army National Guard. And thank you to Green Beret Nap Time for putting this tweet out there where he's been seen multiple times wearing that hat. And if you're not familiar with it, what is that hat? What is that emblem? It's this emblem. This is the Special Forces emblem right here. You are not going to be wearing this unless you are in fact Special Forces. And if you believe that's not it, why don't you compare yourself? Yeah, that's it. That's a Special Forces emblem right there on his hat. What do you think about that? And just to confirm, we can show right here, we can go through and see what his specialties were. This according to the Minnesota National Guard's public affairs officer. When he was serving in Minnesota, he was in field artillery. When he was in Nebraska, he was an infantry soldier and administrative specialist. And I'm very curious about that last one because I've never heard anyone talk about him being an administrative specialist. But I digress. Yeah, this guy's a stolen valor piece of shit for wearing that hat. You don't wear that hat unless you're in fact Special Forces. And I can see the media trying to cover for him by saying that he was doing it to honor the Special Forces in some way or to honor somebody he knows in Special Forces. Yeah, no. Everyone in the military knows that if you are wearing a Purple Heart hat, you don't wear it unless you fucking got a Purple Heart. If you didn't earn a Medal of Honor, you don't wear a fucking Medal of Honor hat. And if you weren't in Special Forces, you don't wear a fucking Special Forces hat. You stolen valor piece of shit. And that's not the end. This guy has also stolen valor for his own rank. Because yes, ever since he was in politics, right from the very start, he has been saying that he retired a command sergeant major. No, the fuck he didn't. He retired a master sergeant because he was a command sergeant major for less than a year at the end of his career, but under the condition that he had to complete the Sergeant Major Academy, which is always a condition. You have to complete that academy. Well, he didn't complete the academy. And why? Because he retired when his unit was known, when it was known that his unit was going to deploy to Iraq. Suddenly, all of a sudden, he didn't want to serve anymore. What a piece of shit. He abandoned his troops right before going into war. The man never served in combat. Not a single day was he ever in combat. And don't take this just from me. I'm going to read a part of a letter to you from a fellow command sergeant major, someone who was in his unit and knew him. This from a Facebook post back in 2018. The sergeant major says, on May 16, 2005, he quit, betraying his country, leaving the 125 Field Artillery Battalion and its soldiers hanging, without its senior non-commissioned officer as the battalion prepared for war. His excuse to the other leaders was that he needed to retire in order to run for Congress, which is false. According to a Department of Defense directive, he could have run and requested permission from the Secretary of Defense before entering active duty, as many reservists have. If he had retired normally and respectfully, you would think he would have ensured his retirement documents were correctly filed out and signed, and that he would have ensured that he was reduced to master sergeant for dropping out of the academy. Instead, he slithered out the door, and waited for the paperwork to catch up to him. His official retirement document states soldier not available for signature. This guy is a piece of shit. He tried to retire and escape out without signing the documents so that he thinks that he's retiring then as a sergeant major. He can make that claim as he's running for office. Well, guess what? He was not a fucking sergeant major. As soon as he left the military, his rank and the agreement for being a command sergeant major was then null and void. And he's been trying to make this claim all throughout his career, even up until just yesterday.
To his fellow veterans, he is Sergeant Major Walz.
No, he's not. He's piece of shit stolen valor Walz. This guy is a piece of shit. He should not be in office. He should absolutely not be the vice president of this country. He's a stolen valor, lying piece of shit. And we need everyone out there to get out and vote for Trump in November. If you're not already registered, register. Get other people to register. On November 5th, not just get out and vote, but get other people to get out and vote. And vote for Trump like your life depends on it and we're 10 points behind. Do not assume we're going to win. These people will cheat, but we can overwhelm it. We can win. And I appreciate everyone being there. So with all that, there's so many other reasons why not to vote for this guy or for Harris, but do your own research. Don't just take my word for it. Get out and do your own research on everything I talked about. I'm not going to get to the other side. I'm sticking to the military aspect of all of this, but do your own research. Please, I'm begging of you. Just do your own research. And again, thank you all for being here. Again, if you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe and check out our merch store. Click on store in the channel description. You can get this Make the Army Great Again hat. Just another way to support this channel. And be sure to share this out there with everyone because you don't got to be a veteran to be here. Just don't get butthurt. You've been warned.
Open the door! Oh, God! No!